Hello guys, so today is pretty exciting. We're gonna take a look at a Lenovo ThinkCentre M720S. And this is not one of those really boring ones and cheap ones. No, this is actually one of the better ones that I've seen. It's not the best. You can get better ones than these with the exact same design. But this is definitely one of the better ones. So stay tuned. So today I picked up this Lenovo ThinkCentre M720S from school. We'll be taking a look around it and taking a look at its specifications and a few extra goodies I got with it. So I'll first take a look at what I got other than this PC. So some other goodies that I have for the PC is an extra Samsung M.2 drive. This one is only 120 gigabytes. The current one in it is 256, but you know, I have one of these as a spare if it ever dies. And I also have a better power supply for this one from a different unit. This is a FSP that's 210 watt, and the current one that's in it is about 180 watts, and from a brand that I don't really trust. I know FSP, they make good stuff. It is proprietary, but at least it works. It only has two connectors on it. That's how proprietary this PC is. But yeah, it's good. The fan is a little annoying compared to the other ones. Like for example, the OEM one that used to come with this is a lot quieter, and the one that's in it right now too. But this one is better quality. So we're gonna take a look around this PC. So unlike the M710S with a 7th Gen i7, we got, if my camera wants to work, I'm sorry, yeah, a DVD ROM drive. This is a laptop DVD ROM drive, but it's still really nice because you normally never see these on these Lenovo ones. No, definitely not the M710, and probably not even the other M720 models. We also have two USB 3.0 ports, and well, two super speed ports, I guess. But I'm guessing those are USB 2s and two USB 3s, but I'm not 100% sure. We also have a USB-C port as well, which is well nice because that was introduced with the previous model of the M720, which had a 8th gen processor. And even more exciting, we have a SD card slot, which is really neat, and I'm definitely going to use that. Furthermore, we have a headphone jack and a mic jack and a power button. Also the eye on the Lenovo ThinkCentre logo lights up, so yeah, that's pretty nice. It looks pretty good. It looks a little, well, it looks good. The design is actually quite good in my opinion, because it takes the boringness of the M710 and makes it better, you know, because the M710 does not have a DVD drive. It has 4 USB 2 ports. It has no SD card reader and no USB-C port either. So yeah, this one really is one of the best models because, well, yeah, the M710 that they have in our schools are really bland and they don't have many features. As for this, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just an air vent, but I like the design overall of this. So, this machine is in overall really good condition, as you can see, which is very exciting. It has a Core i9, Core i3 9th gen, which is really exciting. M720S, it's from 2018, but the CPU is from 2019, so yeah. On the back, let's take a look at the back I/O, which has actually been simplified over the M710. So, instead of having a separate mic, I think surround out or something, and headphone jack, this one just has one jack combined. I do have a splitter for this, so if I want to use the mic on this, I probably can. It also has a mic jack on the front, so it's fine. We got a serial port, a VGA port, what should have been PS2 ports for mouse and keyboard on the M710, two DisplayPort outs, 4 USB 2s, I guess, and Ethernet. I don't know how fast the Ethernet is, and an extra, and a power supply input. So now we're gonna take it apart. On the inside, we have a AVC cooler. Some of these have different coolers with like a plastic shroud over here, which is just a normal cooler fan, except that this one is instantly headed out the back. The other ones with the 7th Gen i3 have that there's a shroud over here with a normal cooler design, just a fan with a heatsink. It's pointing downwards, but it's headed to here. It's kind of like what Dell did, but in a different way. So to take this thing further apart, you gotta undo these clips. It's actually really nice to take apart because it's, there you go, you can take this front panel off. Yeah. There's just a white LED here, and there's, well, this here, and that lights up. You just press this thing, and you just open it like that, and there you go. It opens like a car, kinda. It's really nice. You got your 1 watt speaker, your 256 gig M.2. This particular model comes with an M.2 that's 256 gig. You can of course upgrade that. There's, I think, a laptop Wi-Fi card slot here. I do have one of those. I could try it, but I don't have one of the cables, like the little tiny cables attached to it. We got 32 gigabytes of RAM in here, which is absolutely mind-blowingly much. You got your CR2032 in here. Under here lies the Core i3 9100. Non-F, this does have integrated graphics. Yeah, the power supply is really basic. It's very nicely managed, which is one of the reasons why I haven't switched to a different power supply yet. But yeah, you can put a graphics card in here. It does have PCI Express. Although, if you want to put anything powerful in there, you would need a external power supply, which is what I'm gonna use. You also got 3 SATA ports, which is nice. But SATA power is a little weird. SATA power goes via these 2 ports. These 2 ones. I actually took one of those home. It didn't come with one, but I took one of those home. You just plug these 4-pin things in, and there you got SATA power. I hope this is a Wi-Fi module, but I'm not sure. I don't really know what it is, but I really hope it is. But yeah, this one, the new ones with the AVC cooler. You can put a few cards in here actually. Yeah, it's looking pretty great. For SFF, it's not too bad. So taking a look at the power supply, this is a AC bell power supply. Sorry for the shakiness. But it's, if I read correctly, it's 80 plus bronze, so it's pretty good. 180 watts, yeah. The original light-on power supplies in these, which are the original OEM Lenovo ones, have 170 watts. And the one that I'll be putting in here later, this FSP group one, is 210 watts. I'll be doing that later on, because I'm not gonna, like, put a GPU in here. But if I am gonna put a GPU in here, I will, of course, first replace the power supply, because I don't trust this brand. This wattage is very low, so yeah, why not do a little bit of an upgrade on that. You got the chipset here, which does not need a cooler. Everything is pretty darn modern in here. There is some proprietariness going on. You got this switch, so it knows when the case has been opened. You got a normal fan header, no proprietary fan header like some Dell ones. I think that's actually a normal standard CPU connector, but you got this really weird one for power. Again, I do have spare. You got your connector for your speaker. I think that could have been IDE, but I'm not sure. I have no idea to take this how to take this M.2 out, because it has a really weird nubbin. But if I ever have to replace it, I do have one spare now, but it's only 128 gig. You could say to me, well, just use that one first, but I don't think that's going to be enough capacity. 256 gig is perfect. The BIOS is unfortunately still locked on here, but it is not locked on Windows. It is completely unlocked on there. But yeah, you got a stock fan header. Actually, talking about fan headers, you got a lot of fan headers in here. You got another one here, so you can hopefully see if my, yeah, you got a fan header there. Extra one that you can hook up. I don't know why you would do that. It's a little weird because this board is the Lenovo i3X0MS, but I think it's a little weird because, I mean, in this case, you know, how would you be able to take advantage of those fans? Like, I think there's actually another header here, but I'm not sure. There is some more proprietariness to this. For example, the power button goes to here, which is this really weird connector. So if you would get this motherboard without the case, yeah, you would need to get around that, you know. It's a little, yeah, it's a little weird. You also have this really weird combined connector for power. Yeah, that's really weird. So this drive just takes power from the SATA port, which is really interesting, from the SATA data port, and not one of these two connectors that you can see here somewhere, those ones. Or does it? Let's see. Yeah, one of those four ones, those 4-pin ones, that's where it takes SATA power from. But yeah, it all looks really clean and good in here. I've already taken a look at the fan, and the fan is doing really good too. It's like brand new. It's like half refurbished. I'm of course gonna clean this. I've already blown out that power supply. But yeah, 32 gigabytes of RAM is absolutely crazy for a system like this, but it's really gonna boost stuff. Because these originally came with only 8 gigabytes of single channel RAM. So yeah, 8 gigabytes is okay, but single channel, yeah, but these M.2s make these systems really, really speedy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this case. I'm gonna put it back together without a graphics card, of course, and then I'll show you how it boots up. And well, I haven't booted this up myself yet, so it's gonna be a bit of a surprise for me too. So before I boot it up, I just want to mention in how immaculate of a condition this thing is. There's absolutely no grime on this towel, on this wet wipe at all. This thing is like immaculate. I could sell this. This is like such good condition. In fact, this was in so great shape. This Lenovo logo right here still had a plastic film on it. It's been used that little. I don't think this thing has like ever been used. But yeah, I really like this machine because of its design and because of how powerful it is. And yeah, we'll be booting it up. So it's basically all set up. I'm gonna put it in vertical because everyone puts them well like that. It's really annoying in my opinion. I think this looks a lot cleaner and just makes it look less, well, in my opinion, neglected. But a lot of these Lenovo systems, I've seen two already. One of these feet would just be out. Like these were abused in schools. These are decent computers. You can get these with at least a 7th gen i3. If you're really lucky, you can get an 8th gen i3, and if you're super lucky, which I am, you can get a 9th gen i3, which is this. And consider that. You're probably thinking, well, it's an i3, it's not that powerful. Well, this has 4 cores, up to 4.2 gigahertz, which is really, really good. And Intel UHD graphics as well. So yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with this. Yeah. So first of all, I just turned it on. And this machine is incredibly quiet. Like, there's like no sound. Since the BIOS is locked, we will be, well, going with the original. What the fuck is my camera doing? We'll be going with the original Windows 10 install, but I will be resetting it without keeping the files afterwards. But this thing is incredibly quiet. There's like nothing coming off it. But yeah, if you guys want to see that DVD player, there you go. It's just a cheap laptop drive, but I guess it gets the job done. Yeah. I think this is pretty exciting. So yeah, while it's configuring Windows, this initially came with 8 gigs of RAM, 256 SSD. 256 gig SSD is still in there, of course. I'm going to keep using that. This has the difference indicator, I think. Yeah, but this is basically a new machine. I could sell this for a lot of money because these are like business machines. But yeah, these are some solid things. These are some good computers if you don't get them with, you know, the 7th gen i3, like the M720S, which is, well, everywhere in our schools. They don't have the optical drive. They don't have USB 3.0. Instead, they have all USB 2. It's all USB 2 on there. No USB-C. I think USB-C is not even on the 8th gen models, and definitely no micro SD, full-size SD card reader. They all have this ugly vent. That's basically the main feature of the weaker M710 and M710S, I think. But yeah, this one is really solid. But yeah, as you can see, oh well, it just turbo boosted 4.1, but yeah. Yeah, as you can see, 4 gigahertz. That's really sweet. But yeah, like I told you, I'm gonna completely wipe this drive, and I'll even clean it. I've turned on the clean option. But yeah, it's gonna, it's gonna reset because, well, I want that. I could absolutely put like a SATA hard drive in here and stuff. But this is the original OEM install, and well, my best thing that I want to do is wipe this M2. But why am I not doing that? Well, they had another one of these with a 8th gen i3 8100, and when we put that SSD in there, the original one, well, yeah, you could download anything you want. You can run any fucking program you want, but the issue is you cannot choose a temporary startup device. So if you want to put a media creation tool on your USB stick or Windows 10 ISO on your USB stick and boot off of that, you're not going to be able to do that since the BIOS is locked. So the only way to put a completely fresh wiped drive in here is to get a SATA SSD, or if you have a new PC, put the M.2 in your PC with a secondary slot or something, and well, format it from there. I don't have a PC with an M.2 slot. My friend does, but he's probably not gonna let me. So yeah, in order to get those nice M.2 speeds, I'm just gonna use the original M.2 and not worry about it. I do have a 128 gig, well actually 1 and 11 gig a gigabyte SSD, but that will be hampering the speed of this thing because, well, SATA has, well, a speed bottleneck because, well, SATA is a skill issue now. But yeah, these M.2 SSDs are ridiculously quick, and I think it's worth it to just reset this thing and not go through the hassle of putting a SATA SSD in here and going from there, or even a hard drive if you're really that crazy. But yeah, that's basically a short, quote unquote, overview of my new Lenovo ThinkCentre M720S. This might become my main PC because, well, it has a more powerful processor, but since everything is proprietary, I'm probably just gonna keep it as a secondary computer. I'll be definitely putting my old GTX 660 Ti in here along with that power supply to power the GPU, you know, be doing the classic way by putting a GPU in there with proprietary stuff. And I know you are gonna say in the comments, well, that's a really bad thing to do. This thing is such good shape. Why not just sell it? Well, I want to use it myself because this computer is more powerful than the one I currently own, which is a skill issue, I know. But yeah, that's why. So I'm definitely keeping this and be doing a few things on it. So hope y'all gonna have a great day. See y'all later.